Shut up.
And I'm hearing you, Lord. 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 Alien, go right through hell and come back again.
All right, guys. So I just saw Castlevania Nocturne, and also I just saw my review I did for season 1. I wasn't going back at watching the review. I gave it the rating of a 7.9. And I have to be quite honest with you. I have to go back and give it a 7, because this season is an 8. I quietly enjoyed this season a lot more than I did the last season. So the last season was a 7. This season was an 8. And the reason I'm going to get into it for a minute is I think because when I rewatched the last season, I rewatched it too. And I said in my video too, by the way, there was some problems. The dialogue was not good the last season. I do think they pandered a lot to a certain audience, a modern audience. I do think the race swapping was not a bad thing. It did elevate. Actually, it worked in this story as well too. So I thought it was okay. But I do think there was a lot of pandering going on there, and Richard was terrible. He bored me to tears last season, and he was not a very good character. He was an annoying character. This season, he's a whole lot better. He's definitely grown, and you can see that, and that's why I'm giving it an 8. Anna, she's a whole better character too. She grows as well as much as he does, and you can see the chemistry they have in this season a lot better than last season. Again, oh well, they just met last season. That's true, but we get to see it flourish in this season, so that's why I'm giving it a little bit better. Maria, on the other hand, you see Maria go through a dark turn this season due to the fact that what happened to her mother being turned to a vampire. Let's get on to the mother. So throughout all season 1, we see the backstory with the mother and the Messiah. There's a history because apparently when she was fleeing from Russia, the mother, she was a slave to the Messiah, right? They dropped that story real quick. Like literally once she becomes a vampire, it's dropped. We don't see the Messiah and the mother interact no more. She tells her to do one thing and that's it. We don't see her no more. And I'm like, really? It is crazy. So I thought that was kind of odd because they did a lot of emphasis on last season on that. Like literally that damn lady had a damn nightmare standing up thinking about what torture she went through. So I thought that was kind of weird. And Maria at times was an annoying brat, but I understand why she was annoying because of what happened to her mother. Then her father had her reckoning, his reckoning coming, and I thought that was bittersweet. Scared the hell out of me though for Maria, but it was bittersweet. It's good to see Richard Belmont's grandfather back in action. I thought that was pretty good. They split up 2 teams. One team with the pairs, Alucard, Anna, and Richard, and Richard's grandfather, Maria, and the monk stayed in town to, I guess, to keep an eye on them and stuff like that. Overall, it's okay season, but it's a better season than season 1. I felt like they did less pandering and more focusing on the story and more focusing on the animation and the fight. See, there's a lot more better choreography, and also Alucard in here. I think Alucard definitely helps too, a lot. What else? Before I get into anything else in this video, I think so. Like I said, an 8. Last season was a 7. Oh yes. So the we get introduced to the vampire. I believe it's the vampire Messiah, second in command. In season 1, she is considered the second in command. Now, in season 2, we get her backstory. But we're thinking in our head, like, okay, we'll get to see how she becomes a vampire through the Messiah. No, 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 no. It shows how she became the vampire first, and then she turns the Messiah into a vampire. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So they did a reverse. Because in the last season, she got killed by Alucard. And this season, she was resurrected by the Forge Master as a beast. And yeah, it was different. I didn't hate it, but I thought, oh, that's uniquely done. I didn't think she would ever come back, but I guess they heard the reception of how, because she was well received last season. Like literally, she was, to me, not MVP, heavens no, but she was like the best part of last season. Because I'll be honest with you, when she showed up, I was like, oh Lord, things about to get reckoning, and things got reckoning, and she did her part. In season one, like she was a menace of her own before the Messiah got involved. But yeah, it was okay. That's one thing I thought was a little bit different. And again, the whole drop in the storyline with Maria Mother and the Messiah. So certain things were changed for the better, and certain things they did drop and change was for not better or questionable at the time. So that's really what I have to say on that part. But other than that, yeah, if you like season one, then you're going to enjoy season two. If you did not like season one, I still think you should watch season two because it's a lot better. However, I understand if you do not want to pick it up. I was reading too, the producers say you have to watch this season if you want more, and that's pretty much letting them know. Yeah, Netflix has not confirmed another season, nor would they probably will. The thing about Castlevania is last season did not win a lot of people over. And I was watching videos and stuff. They were saying they killed the franchise and everything. I thought it was the opposite. If fans did not like the last season, they won't come back. That's the one thing about shows for Netflix, which I like and I dislike, because sometimes you can win the fans back over if you do better, if you give them a second chance. But again, people like, well, I ain't watching it, and that's the difference. And it's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. I hope people give this a chance so we can get more of what we got here. But again, I totally understand why you don't want to. The pandering didn't help. Orlok's the vampire to the one that killed the mother of Richard Belmont. His storyline was not necessary, but again, from what the showrunners and producers says, they want to wrap up everybody's storyline. And like I said, I think they wrapped up everybody's storyline pretty well. They have not a to be continued, but they do leave a door open for a season two, especially with Maria's mother. There's a lot going on with her too. So yeah, as always, guys, like, subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. See you guys in the next video.